I'm at this beautiful place deep in the mountains somewhere in western North Carolina. I just ate a small psychedelic mushroom, and I'm here with the intention of healing. I feel like what I experience is relatable, but then I look to the world and I'm like, nothing about me is relatable. That's really a big thing I want to do. Guide people back to their own divine connection who have lost it. Yet here I am. I mean, here I fucking am. I guess life is just hard. And I'm not like on here to complain. It's just like, it's funny how you can want something so much and then you get it and it's like life will continue challenging you. But I'm not mad that I'm here. This is exactly the scenery that I want to be in. And so now that's where I'm at. That's part of my journey. Holding a lot of trauma in my body. And, you know, what I feel life is wanting me to explore is something about somatic therapy. I keep hearing it when I'm channeling, and then other people on like TikTok or whatever talk about it. I'm actually going to do a free session with this lady on TikTok. And so somatic something, I think I'm going to allow that to come in, and yoga. And then also a lot more of this. So, you know, it's so silly because I fight with myself. The second ex-husband used to call it the committee. How you'll get the committee talking in your brain. And I have been arguing with the committee for the last 2 days. I have been trying to get out hiking and do a psychedelic adventure for 2 days. But I'm here. I didn't eat a lot of mushrooms. I can't do a heroic dose as long as I have kids at home. Probably when my kids go on vacation to Colorado, I'm going to give myself a little camping trip and do some heroic psychedelic adventures. And so the committee this time was like, turn on the camera and talk about the blah blah. And then another voice was like, fuck that, I'm here for my own healing. So I don't even know if I'll post this, and if I do, like, it's so silly. I've been doing all these like daily down and dirty tarot videos, which are not very daily, but whatever. I do it as consistently as I am able to. But but then like I see that most people who click on it watch it for like 1 second. So I don't know what I'm doing. Fucking life. But I'm sharing my not knowing journey. And you know, if allowing healing of trauma, if allowing, I just laughed, all this gray hair. I am 49. If sharing this journey helps anybody, then, you know, cool. And if it doesn't help anybody right now, that's what Merf and I were talking about. You know, maybe someday down the line, these videos will be available and somebody someday gets help from it. And it's so funny in channeling videos, I'm always like, it always wants to come through. It's not so much me. But we're not here to save anybody. We're not here to save anybody, and we're not here to fucking be saved. That whole savior paradigm is a distortion of the truth. It's a mind fuck to distract us from the powerful creator beings we are. And so I love that I get to share this message, but it's the application over and over again. That's my complaint too. I love the energy and the information I get to channel, but it's like in application, I just find that there's a daily struggle with living in the reality and having kids and financially supporting them. And I am doing work that I love. And so it's just coming into greater and greater alignment. And I know that magic is real because of all that's manifested. And so now it's just figuring out why it gets so clunked up and then magic stops working. And you know, and I do believe it has to do with our solar family, our celestial family. You know, I've been having a lifetime of Pluto transits, and that's just one of the many reasons I appreciate Merf so much, is because Merf and I have similar natal charts in that regard. We're both here to transition through a lot. We're both Capricorns. Merf has their moon at 1 degree Aquarius. My Venus is at 1 degree Aquarius. And, you know, and anyway, I tend to rattle on, and I see why people don't keep watching. But whatever. I just want to be authentic and encourage authenticity. And fucking A, it's so beautiful here. So I just began this journey. This hike is almost 7 miles. So I'm getting a kind of a late start in the day. Oh, there's a black and yellow butterfly. Eventually I'll start tripping. I might stop and do a tarot reading. And I don't know if I'm going to record while I'm tripping. We'll just see. And even if I do record, I don't know if I'll post it. But, you know, if anybody does watch this, I'm going to post this to Airy Fairy Tarot, and I'm going to post it to Tune Your String, whatever I do post. And I kind of feel like just posting to my regular old Fairlight de Taurus stuff too. So just seeing who watches and, you know, who connects. And if nobody does, it's all right. I am here to connect with all of this. So peace and love, and I'll see you later on down the journey. There's a pool of water down there. right, checking in at just under 2 miles. I feel like I've been walking a long time. I've definitely done some crying. I'm not tripping like at all as hard as I was worried I might, but it's been a nice little trip. It did exactly. I was praying as I ate it, like, please help me process the trauma. And and sometimes, like with tripping, I know myself tripping. I always have to cry first and then I can enjoy the rest of it. So I'm in this fucking beautiful forest. This is the first forest we ever came to when we first moved to North Carolina. We were headed to the coast where my mom lives, but my mom had said, stop in Asheville first. I think you'll like it there. She fucking knew. But it's so funny. We came to this forest after leaving the Ocala forest in Florida. We had been living in a tent there for about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. And we did a lot of healing in this forest. So I didn't know where this trail was. It's just like coordinates on an app, All Trails. I love All Trails. And when I saw that it brought us to this place, I was like, oh, yep, this is exactly where I need to go. And again, I don't know if I'll even post this. Kind of glad I didn't take any video of myself crying. I did get some video of my hairy legs and my bare feet walking on the bare earth. We all need to do some earthing, y'all. But I've been following this little river the whole way, and it's just been a wonderful, just beautiful. And at one point, like, because I mean to bring offerings, but I just had to get out of the house. I didn't leave until much later than I meant to, and I'm like, oh fuck, I forgot to bring anything for offering. And it's so sweet that the forest was like, just receive. And of course that brought on the biggest cry yet, like, ooh. All my readings, I'm like, you need to fill your own cup. You know that you're a giver. It's time to receive. And receiving isn't easy. And also recognizing how, like, I'll find moments of, like, I'm so grateful and everything's fine. And then that monkey mind, that rattle brain, like thinking about little things like I need to buy toilet paper. And even when I have money to buy toilet paper, how much trauma is around money. And I know I'm not alone in that. So I don't know. I need to go to a rainbow gathering. I've only been to one in my life, and it was life altering. And we all need to go to the rainbow gathering. We all need to redo society. It's time. Too many people are traumatized by this, capitalism, whatever. I don't want to go off on a political rant because I don't know what to say. Like, I want this to be messages from Lala Land. Let's all go to Lala Land and let's all remember how to live in the world again, the real world. This is the real world, you guys. This is the real world. What other people want you to believe is the real world is all fake. It's fabricated fucking reality that serves some people, and I don't know. I don't have the answers because I know a lot of people like living in Babylon. That's what the rainbow people call it. And I wish I could just take my kids and go live the rainbow life. And someday maybe we'll choose that. Just peace and love, y'all. Again, I don't know if I'm going to post this for anybody to watch, and if I do, if anybody will even fucking watch it. But I'm trying to be a preacher. I'm just sharing a perspective, like, life doesn't need to be traumatic. And there's just so much that we don't have to be in fight or flight. We don't have to fight for our survival. And I hope that maybe, I'm just the voice of one mother that wants it easier for our kids. And we need this. The point of it is my daughter and I did acid, and we hiked 4 miles up Pikes Peak. And my first video was us tripping, and she videoed me putting my water bottle in the mountain stream and drinking it and saying, isn't this what we want for our children? And that's the point. Isn't this what we want for our children? And that's what it used to be. Like, the water needs to be clean and it needs to be free. It is our birthright. And there's corporations that don't feel that way. And who the fuck are they? Who the fuck are they to fabricate that we don't? Water's not a birthright to a human being. Clean water. We should be able to go down to the rivers, any river, even if we're in the city, and drink clean water. We should be able to breathe clean air. Like, that's really not asking too much. How removed from nature have we become to where we're just like accepting that the water's poisonous to drink? Why is this okay? Dude, it's not okay. and it's like we're just like sheep. And so that's patriarchal religion. I guess I'm tripping a little, I can't even talk. Patriarchal religion telling everybody, you're sheep. You're sheep. And everybody's like, oh, okay, bah. Stop being sheep. You don't have to be wolves either. Just fucking be people. Be people. We're meant to be, the caretakers of this land and receive. The land will talk to you and tell you, just receive. Just be grateful and take care of me too. That's simple, y'all. Love and life. How fucking beautiful. La 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, sacred mother. Hey, 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 hey. Sacred mother, that's the spirit of the earth. Ooh, yeah. Sacred mother. Well, the first 2.5 miles, it was a lovely nature walk. And then it became a hike. And being from Colorado, woo, this feels so good. My ass was like, finally, finally, some hiking. No, I've done some good hiking since I've been here, but whew, that lasted a while. I'm not checking to see how far I went until I get to what seems like the top. But in the meantime, it's just so freaking beautiful. I don't know if you can see the water. I'm like trying to show the water trickling. Oh well, whatever. Whew. La 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 la. Can't you see? Ooh, can't you see? So sometimes I don't know who to credit for where I've gained my knowledge. So whoever said that this is therapy, so I'll preface it by I once did healing, counseling with a beautiful friend of mine named Reverend Jody, and she was the minister at the Centers for Spiritual Living where I used to sing in Colorado Springs, and it just, I was not an easy case. I'm still not. And this was probably back in 2010, the year my youngest child was born. So it's been a long journey. But she had put these glasses on me that flashed these different colored lights. And, it always fascinated me because I don't think she really explained to me what it was for. And I've since come to find out that it's, I wish I could remember the name. It's EMDR or something like that. And it's meant to reroute the neural pathways in your brain. But then I think I heard somebody else say it, or I read it or something, that when you go for a walk, especially in the woods, and you move your eyes from side to side, that it's that same kind of therapy. And so I was just walking through this place on the trail and realized, wow, this would be perfect for that sort of therapy. So let the healing begin. So I came back to the beginning of this little corridor, and feel free to, experience this healing, and let's rewire our neural pathways, and let's get back to sacred Mother Earth. La la la. I remember several years ago, it's always years ago, huh? That's what happens when you're getting older. I used to subscribe to some sort of a newsletter or something where there were multiple energy workers and seers, and that's where I discovered like Lee Harris, and I wish I could remember the names of all the other beautiful people, and I wish I could remember what even that was. So one of the, I don't even know what to call them, seers, light workers, channelers, I wish I could credit him. I don't know his name, but he had said, when your fears start talking to you, give it comfort. Say, I see you, little fear. I've got you. I'm going to shine a light on you. And I'm not quite sure that that's how he said it. I just remember him saying, I see you, little fear. There's a bumblebee. And I keep hearing her talking about somatic therapy, and I'm gonna do a free session with her. And I love the birdies singing. But I wonder if this is somatic therapy. That's why I came on right here. Oh, I love that birdie singing. I don't know what kind of bird that is. I'm guessing it's... Hi there. I'm guessing it's either a cardinal or a robin, but I don't know. If anybody knows, let me know. But there's something about hiking barefoot that is just, I feel like it's healing so much of my body right now. It just feels so good to be. And I just had to share, like, oh, how good it feels. And look how pretty it is. Oh, all of it. So grateful. Everybody needs this. I don't know that everybody can, but if you can, please fucking do. Any little bit of putting your bare feet on the earth. But the more you can like move your body and connect with the earth and really tune yourself into the, I don't know, it's like a recalibration. It's amazing. It's just, I can talk about it all day long, but it's definitely something to experience for yourself. Oh. Thank you, little birdie. So I'm not sure, but the way the wind is blowing and looking at the nearby peaks, I think I may have reached the pinnacle of the mountain I'm climbing. And as a double Capricorn, that is fucking fabulous. It's so peaceful. It's so peaceful. You are so beautiful to me. You are so beautiful. Oh, to me. Can't you see? I can't help but sing. I hope it's appreciated, and if not, well, I guess you've stopped watching me. I ate that with the little mushroom that I ate. Very much a much needed, little bit more than a microdose. But so talking about trauma, talking about, I'm curious to see how all this is edited in, because, you know, let's face it, editing is not my skill. Hiking, on the other hand, is, boy, if I could just get paid to hike, if y'all just want me to hike for my life and I'll share it, like, I'm happy to get paid to hike. So talking about that little fear and whatever. And so when I'm doing channeling, when I'm doing readings with other people, it's been coming up quite a bit about, well, there's this whole spiel that likes to come through about how, you know, as children especially, we're told, tell the truth, always tell the truth. And then so often we tell the truth, and then we get punished for telling the truth. So green. And this is why, as much as I love Colorado, I had to come back to Western North Carolina. Look at how magical. Oh, how cool. It's a little fairyland. Yay. I'm 49 fucking years old. I have wrinkles. Whatever. We gotta love ourselves. And women need to know they're beautiful. Men need to know they're beautiful. All of us, regardless of gender and age, we're all beautiful in all stages of life. And I will affirm it, motherfucker. Oh my God, look at this beautiful flower. Oh, that is beautiful. I don't know if you can capture it. I'm gonna, okay, I keep having to turn off the camera so I can take pictures or something, but whatever. Oh, good. I think I'm still on the same trail. There was a split in the trail, and I wasn't sure. Oh gosh, Laurel Mountain Connector. I don't think I'm on my trail, but I guess I'll find it one way or another. Help me, I'm lost. I don't think you can even appreciate how freaking huge this tree really is. So I want to get close to it and just give a little hug. I wish I could like share the tree hugs with all of you guys, but this is what it would look like if you were hugging this tree right now. Oh, and it's just such a big, beautiful tree. Oh, thank you, tree. But I was able to get a little bit of, ooh, and look at this spider. I don't know if you can see her. So delicate and pretty, though. I don't think I can get it on the camera. Oh, I want to. Oh, there she is. How pretty. So I was able to connect with the All Trails app, and so I'm going back that way. I sing to create a frequency fence before I start doing readings because I want to be very clear about what we're changing, about what types of energies I want to speak with. And so I'm going to leave that in. I know I'm not done choking. But Louise Hay, in her book, You Can Heal Your Life, talks about when you start coughing or something, pay attention to what you were saying, because you're moving the energy. And we hold back a lot of our words, of course, and also our throats are a conduit for change. And so Louise Hay said, when you start coughing or whatever, touch your throat and affirm, I am changing, or I am willing to change. And I am willing to change, and I am always changing. So I want to go back to where, you know, that fella who had said, you know, I see you, little fear, I've got you. And then back to, you know, as children, we're told, tell the truth, always tell the truth. And then we tell the truth, and then we get punished for telling the truth. And so what gets emphasized and indoctrinated, really programmed into us, is that nobody really wants to hear the truth. Really, they just want us to conform, and obey. But look at this tree. Yay, I love the trees. Thank you, tree. So what gets reaffirmed is conform. And if you think about it, and I've said this before, but I'm trying to tie it all in. If you think about it, there's not an honest fucking thing about conformity. Not an honest fucking thing about conformity. And I'm just like, sigh. No. And so what we get taught is that our truth is often not acceptable. Our authentic selves are not acceptable. And so it fragments us. And those parts of ourselves don't go away. They just get fragmented and put into the shadow realm. And then those parts of ourselves seek attention, often in ways that are still not acceptable. And yes, we want to learn how to get along in community, but the emphasis on fear, obey, and conformity, it's created too much trauma. It's toxic. It's fucking toxic. So going into that, I see you, little fear. The way it's come through in my own channelings has been, we've got a little bird friend. I'm glad that I got lost and came this way. And so it's recognizing when those fragmented parts of ourselves are trying to come out of the shadows, and those parts of ourselves are asking to be seen. Those parts of ourselves, those fragmented pieces of us, are asking for love. Those are the parts of us that need love the most. But those are the parts of ourselves that we have been taught to reject, deny, criticize, and punish. And fuck all that. So now, you know, notice when you are rejecting yourself. And I still do it too, and I still have to catch myself. Like, say we catch ourselves being an asshole. You know, that's a fragmented part of ourselves that's asking to be heard, to be seen. And like, we don't want to be abusive to other people, but that's where we have to stop and just recognize, wow, that's kind of out of character for me. And for some people, it is in their character to be an asshole, but they need to look at that and you know, talk to yourself. We all need to look at ourselves and talk with ourselves and ask ourselves what's really wanting to be expressed. And so back to that little fear kind of thing. So, you know, when I started this journey today, I needed to release a lot of trauma. So much of my trauma is around financial stuff. I'm a single mother of 4, and, you know, supporting 4 children has not been easy in this world, you know, and it's not like again, I don't like to get too political. I try to remove myself from it. Obviously, I'm very liberal leaning, and I am all for let's take the fuck care of each other, and let's inspire each other, and let's be authentic. And I'm so grateful. I'm just so grateful that the consciousness of the planet is shifting. I'm grateful for sexual empowerment for everybody, and non-binary and transgendered expression. I feel like that's really bringing us all home to allowing ourselves to express the full spectrum of being. It was just my boys and me and a partner, and we'd moved to Fayetteville. And a week after moving to Fayetteville, North Carolina, the relationship ended. And so my boys and I ended up in a motel in Asheville, and my car had broken down, and I've shared this story before, but and the only thing I really had was instant karma. That's why I'm always wanting to give shout outs to instant karma, because, well, I just love being there, but they saved me. They were my saving grace. So I came back, and my mom also fucking helped me financially. Like, my goddess, my mom helped me a lot. But there was something about, I had wanted to come back to Asheville so much for 3 years, and getting this new beginning, that I was like in this ecstatic high. And there is something about PTSD, which I definitely have been diagnosed with PTSD multiple times over the years. Oh, I love this place. There's something about fight or flight that can give you like a heightened, like a high, when you've got to survive. And it wasn't the cortisol. I don't know. And I don't know if it's really something to be associated with PTSD, but it's just, we had to survive. And somehow I was high on life. I was high in a vibration. I don't mean, a drug-induced high, but I mean, I was just high on life. And I connected into a frequency of abundance like I'd not experienced before. And it was just a year ago. And somehow, some way, like I said, my mom did help me out a lot. But then at Instant Karma, I just was, making more money than I've ever made before in my life. Sorry, my hair's pissing me off. I'm going to quit looking at it. And so I was in this amazing flow of abundance. And I thought, okay, this is where life wants me now. I can attune to this. And then, and it's funny because I rode that high for several months, or a few months anyway, probably several, I don't know. And then a couple things happened throughout the year. One, I went back to Colorado for one of my kids, but there was something about going back. God, and I didn't mean for this to become such a personal share, but it led me to confront some unspoken truth with my own father, which surfaced a whole lot of abandonment wounds and worthiness issues, and it reflected in the money I was making. And then I got into a relationship that further surfaced codependency and toxic patterns and trauma, and I definitely felt devalued in that relationship, and it just kind of put me in a snowball kind of thing where I still haven't quite recovered from it financially. Trust when trauma wants to surface. It's there to be cleared. Noticing how when I liberated myself from one relationship, how I connected my worthiness. I valued myself so much to leave and to take a chance. And I connected into this flow of abundance. And then I got into another relationship, and my abundance just dwindled down, and my self-worth did too. Isn't that so crazy how they correlate? And this all corresponded with Pluto transiting my Venus, the planet of love and worth. So I don't believe there's any accidents. I do believe it was all divinely synchronized. All is divinely synchronized. What we choose to do with these divine synchronicities is up to us. I love that you can hear a woodpecker. It's like we are knocking on the doors of change. Changing those frequencies. And so today was very needed because I've been carrying these, financial traumas for several months now, and things had gotten to a point. I say had gotten to a point. Trying to see if I can see the woodpecker. Do you hear them? Isn't that neat? I didn't make enough to pay my rent, and that is financially traumatic. And I'll also share it's so deeply traumatic because and my kids, I have been homeless with my kids. My children and I have been homeless more times than I can remember, over and over again, both while I was with my second husband and since leaving him. We have been homeless over and over again. I have struggled so much financially. And so there's a lot of trauma in that. And I just don't even know how to express how fucking scary it is when you can't provide a home for your kids. And again, it's not for lack of trying. I just, it just has been part of the journey. It's not like I don't work. Being a palm and tarot reader, I never really expected that to be a profession. Never saw myself as a business owner or whatever. And so, it's really, it feels very defeating when you're self-employed and you still can't provide for your family. And so that's what I had to come out to clear today, because I know the work I do is meaningful. I've seen and I've heard back from many people. I've had people come back to town just so they can get another reading from me. And that's not like a bragging thing. It's just, affirming that, like, I know I'm doing the work I'm supposed to be doing. I feel like coming to nature is part of it. I don't know how to bring this into providing for my family, but I would love to take people hiking and healing. So my 17-year-old works at Subway, and he paid a really big part of the rent. And then my oldest, who lives in Ohio, paid some of the rent. And so that was part of today's message too, is that, you know, the kids have got you. And it's not easy to be the mom and have to ask your kids to pay the rent, you know, but they've got me, they've had me. But then the reason I'm giving such a personal share in that regard, and again, I didn't even realize it was all going to tie in together, just tripping, you know. I was like, oh, I want to talk about that. The kids have got you. But that was a big message that wanted to be shared. And it's come through quite a bit about how the kids are the ones with the solution. The kids are the ones with the solutions. The new waves of consciousness, and it's been shown to me like waves coming in on the sand, waves coming into the shore, and each wave like rides in upon the last wave. And so we come in these waves of consciousness. And now I'm thinking about it. I think Dolores Cannon talked about the waves of volunteers. And it's very much like that, waves of consciousness. And the kiddos are coming in on waves of consciousness, and they bring the solutions. And so where, you know, we got stuck in this, and it's patriarchy, you know, we lost our feminine principle, we lost our divine mother, and then we became bound to tradition, and children were to be seen and not heard, and all of that. And I know we've been in generations of shifting that, but we need to shift more. And the kids have got us. They are the new earth. They are the new earth, and it's the same earth. It's always been here. I do feel like this is the way back. And it's so funny that I even went the wrong direction, and now I'm finding the way back. Fun synchronicity kind of stuff. But the kids have got us. And we need to let, you know, and it's so funny because then my brain's like, and we also need to learn to honor and respect the elders. But it's those who have true life experience, not those who have created the fabricated reality that benefits the few on the backs of the most. And again, I don't want to, I think politics is a sham. Ultimately, I like when things are progressive, but, you know, yeah, I just want to say, like, all the old people that are in charge, they have no clue about real life solutions because they don't live a real life. And, you know, and to be fair, neither do I. But I know I'm not trying to have power over lots and lots of other people either. And it's more about being a conduit of love, really. Now I sound like a hippie. Whatever. But it really is. It's about being a conduit of love. Well, that's kind of weird. Being a conduit of, you know, well, and as channels, we open rivers. We open up streams of consciousness. And it's not like a beam of light that comes in your head. I've said this many times before too, but it's our entire energy field. And I love walking in the forest and just letting the energy, my energy field, just blend and connect with all that's here. So grateful. But because we're always influencing each other, and we're always being influenced by each other. And, You know, the more sensitive we become, the harder it is to want to go to like the grocery store because, oh, my mom's messaging me. Because we don't want to be influenced by those who have their energy field saturated by toxic belief systems. And the kids have got us. You know, many of us are here to transmute a lot of the pain and a lot of the grief and a lot of the sadness. And it doesn't seem fair that, you know, we are the conduits for that energy. But is it about fairness, or is it about, well, of course, my Saturnian Capricorn self wants to say, or is it about the rewards? Like, this in itself is definitely its own reward. And being able to breathe and know that they've got us. And I guess the last little part I want to share about that whole subject is getting back into the frequency and vibration of flow, of abundance. Getting back into the flow of that. And that was what started the whole thing about, I see you, little fear, because I felt like I had cleared a lot of that trauma. And then my brain, for some reason, would think about, oh, I need to buy toilet paper. And then all of a sudden, I felt that fear come up my spine again. And having to sit with it and say, I see you, little fear. You know, I can't gaslight myself and say, oh, you know, now we've cleared it and we're just connected into abundance again. I don't know, you know. I'm scared I'm going to go to work tomorrow, and I don't want to go back into that energy, so I need to clear that. But it's like this whole, I need to clear that. But then I'm reminded, I see you, little fear. And we're going to sit here and we're going to shine a light on it, and we're going to acknowledge it. And it does help with knowing that I've witnessed myself tune into certain vibrational frequencies that allowed a greater flow of abundance. And it does help to witness the timelines of what put me back into the flow of poverty consciousness. And so I have very strong faith that I can attune back into that. And really, even though I'm talking about me, this isn't just about me. It's for all of us, that abundance is a flow. And so with that, I want to address some people that really help with that. Amanda Flaker, I've listened to her podcast and watched her on YouTube, but the free stuff, the free content she's put out there has really helped to shift my vibration. Shout out to Chris Reck with Minnow Pond. I'm doing this marketing thing, and he's giving so much good information and just being such a big support system for content creators and just people in general. So I appreciate that. And a book that I have because of him is called Psycho-Cybernetics. I kind of connect with what the book is about, and just my story I just shared. I think that's a lot of what the Psycho-Cybernetics is. It's going into your wins. And it's about your self-image. And so now it's reconnecting into looking at the wins you've had in life. And, you know, each of us have our own connection into that. You know, I'm a singer, and I'm finally starting to get on some stages again. And that's been really good. And it will continue to be good and good. and come into nature. And so I'm gonna end it there. And so for anybody who has been watching, thank you for watching, and peace and love. But look at the snails eating the poop. I'm guessing it's probably bear poop.